Sometimes our path is not clear. The video today is I just want to share something that I'm stuck right now with my mindset and also with my goal setting and everything. So I'm currently reading this book, The Expert Secrets from Russell Brunson. And in this book, he talks about when he helps his clients to look at the value ladder. So if you have any kind of product, so let's say here in my channel right now, that's DaVinci Resolve for the iPad, right? I have a MasterClass on that, and I validated that because we have now over 140 students in that class. But when he talks to his clients, he basically figures out what is the value ladder. Like, for example, what is the next step? Because people, when they come to you and they buy something and you can help them, there's always another step, another problem, and another achievement that they want to do. And if they don't get it from you, they will have this problem and they look for something else, right? It can be something simple like, for example, one question I get a lot is, Daniel, what kind of cover do you have on your keyboard? Because that looks amazing. Is that for DaVinci? I want to have it. So I could now go down and think about creating that or not. I'm not talking about if it makes sense. I just want to show you that it doesn't matter in which niche you are, there's always some next steps, upsells, downsells that you could do. And if you're an entrepreneur and a businessman, you want to look into those kind of things, right? So since the beginning, I thought about what kind of products I can do. And when I had my run, what I mean by that is like at the beginning, the first 2-3 months, when I had a lot of customers that already paid and the DaVinci Masterclass was not done, I had this fire every day. I woke up in the morning and I just edited. Like I was like crazy doing stuff. But that shifted, that changed. And that's why I want to talk to you today. And also maybe I get a little bit more clarity for myself. So what am I talking about? In this book, he talks about the value ladder. So you should, before you even go into your business, think about, or if you have a business, you should think about your value ladder. And what he does with his clients is to write the value ladder out. You can really think about it like a ladder, like one step, next step, next step, next step, next step, right? And for that, you have to know your customers and your customer journey. And if you understand your customer journey, you can think about those value ladders. But I don't know my customer values, or other one. I don't understand my customer journey. Not really. Like there's different paths. But, and this is basically also why I make this video today. This video today is not about to give you this perfect solution. I make this video to show you that I'm struggling with this like since weeks, since months. Maybe even this is my core problem that I have in myself. Because in my past, I did so many different kind of businesses, practices, different ideas that I followed. Some successful, some not successful, right? I can give you one thing that I learned where I still struggle is, you never failed. If you did something, you learned. So let's say even if you start an idea, a business, and you do it and you fail because you don't make enough money, but you learned something, right? I give you one major example. I went first with my first online courses to Skillshare because it was easier to go to a platform like Skillshare than creating my own platform. I only had to upload the videos to Skillshare, and after already knowing how to do it with YouTube, it was basically just, hey, wait, it's super easy. It's like YouTube, just instead of YouTube, I upload to Skillshare and I make more money from that than on YouTube. That was cool. But then when Skillshare started like not accepting classes or neglecting classes, or even after a year canceling classes, I saw like, oh my God, I'm doing all of this work and now the work is not validated anymore. And I took that pain and I started creating my first own courses with Teachable. And that was super cool, but it was also scary. And my first couple of courses, I didn't sold anything, right? I didn't like, okay, right, you don't know that, but for me, like I didn't sold anything. So now you could say that experience was a failure in monetize, but I learned how to do it now with Teachable. And so the next time when I created a course, for example, with our coaching program that we had last year for Phoenix Nomads, I could start straight away making the classes on Teachable and not on any other site. And also here, DaVinci Resolve, if you are from the beginning part of the masterclass, you remember that I started with Teachable and now later we moved to our new platform. So you learn always something. So this is one thing I can at least share with you. And even a situation like now where I stuck right now is something that you learn something out of it. Like even today, I tried to brainstorm and come up with my value ladder, and I don't really know my value ladder. And I think the core problem is not that I don't understand the value ladder, like let's say, for example, DaVinci Resolve. Of course, people who want to learn with DaVinci Resolve, they want to maybe learn the next step. For example, if I look into the marketplace and I do my research, I see that, okay, there's advanced classes for DaVinci Resolve color science. They're not cheap. They're actually really expensive. You can pay up to $500, $600, $700 for an advanced color thing. But then I look at my skill set and where I want to go, and that's where it leads a little bit of problem, because I'm not a colorist in Hollywood, right? So, and I don't want to become a colorist in Hollywood. I have so many different skill sets, and you probably know that if you watch those types of videos on my channel where I just talk about a problem or something. I built different types of online businesses in the past. I even published a self-publishing book. So I went through all of those processes. I love the journey of tackling a problem and learning about this. But if I see myself, do I want to become a colorist for Hollywood? Even if it sounds nice, no, because it's too limited for me, at least. It's my experience. So now when I look at the value ladder, I could look at DaVinci and say like, okay, my customers are DaVinci users. And the next step is maybe to learn even more in-depth stuff about DaVinci. That would make sense, right? But it doesn't make sense for me because I don't want to go down this route. And that's okay, that's a clear sign. So what is my route? If you remember when Final Cut Pro came out, I was asking here the channel about where should I go? What kind of direction should I take? Should my channel become the iPad filmmaking space, which kind of makes sense, right? Because I'm using my iPad all the time right now, right? But now I'm trying to tell you something that I learned right now is maybe it's too limiting. Maybe it's too limiting for me, or maybe it's just my fear. You know, like what I'm trying to say is I see now my daily videos, like, yeah, let's be realistic. I was thinking that if I do daily videos, that the channel growth would be faster, higher, and whatever. But I see now that it's stagnating. That could, number one, could be, of course, my videos suck. That's an option, and maybe it is because I don't spend as much time in it. Maybe it is because most of them are very short. I still believe each video in itself, but you can tell me, be honest if you see this now, but I think each topic in itself is valuable if you look for that. So why is it stagnating? I think because DaVinci Resolve, when it came out, had a huge hype. A lot of people came over. A lot of people came over also to my channel. And then we started the MasterClass thing, and now it's like, it's not that it's not working. It's still working. People are coming. Like last night, I had a night where 3 customers bought while I was sleeping, which this is an amazing feeling, right? And I can, for example, teach that. And that's also something that I love to do. I love to teach what I did and how the success worked. So now if I look at my value ladder, I'm more like, okay, if I love that more, should the value ladder become more that type of, okay, I'm helping people who want to become digital nomads because I'm a digital nomad. If I look at my skill set, and you know, I learned that from Grant Cardone. You can think about him whatever you want, but I think he has a couple of interesting things he says, and if you adopt the things that work, and then I have that from Alex Hormozi as well. Like Alex Hormozi said, never judge a person if you have never really looked into it, especially not if that person achieved success in an area where you haven't achieved it, right? So Grant Cardone, when I started looking at his books and the audiobooks, he talked about, think about what people want to, your name and what kind of niche the people want to stuck you in. Like, sorry, my English right now, but basically when he started, he said, okay, I want to be known for sales. So everything he did was about sales training, and he has even this phrase, he wants that almost all the planet knows him for sales. So if people look up in the dictionary, next to sales should be his name. Of course, he'd never achieved that dream or something, but the point is thinking about what you should be known for. And so if I think about that, am I want to be known just as the DaVinci guy? It's just a small part of what I did in the past. And if I'm honest with you, I love DaVinci, but I started DaVinci when it came out to the iPad. All my knowledge is even from different programs. All my knowledge is collected over the course of those last 6 months. Like, that's not completely me. I am, okay, that's English. I am a digital nomad since now 8 years. I traveled around the world, and I still struggle finding a value ladder combining those things. The only thing I can think of is a coaching program, what we tried last year. A coaching program where I basically teach you all the steps. So why do I tell you this? Because obviously now with DaVinci Resolve for the iPad, I would say most people who are in my masterclass, only like maybe 1 or 2% would go the next step to build a business out of that, and also would love to get into a coaching program where they learn all the skill sets. I could be wrong, it's validating information, but It's just because I choose now a niche that goes into a little bit a different direction. It's not that it's completely off. I mean, the iPad thing works with digital nomad because you have to travel, right? And the editing part is in every filmmaker's process, right? Because I see myself more as a filmmaker. And yeah, you know, now this is the point. That's why I'm telling you that this video, maybe I will not even publish this video, because now I'm already afraid, like, Daniel, what are you talking about? Does this even make sense? No, it makes no sense, because it doesn't make sense in my head right now. And I just want to share that. And it's maybe okay. Like, I'm not stopping. And maybe next month I make a video. Do you remember that video that I posted? If I posted that? And now I figured it out. This is the path that I will follow. For example, I heard this one thing, and there's also a book, You Are the Brand. I mean, my channel is not called DaVinci iPad Space, even if I have my thumbnails and everything tailored to iPad right now, because I'm getting known and getting traction. And I understand you have to have a niche to grow faster than if you're just broad. But it's my name, and my name is my brand, and my brand represents myself and my skills and everything that was in the past, and also my stories. That, for example, could also be a strategy, including in my videos more my stories. But then that's also against what I'm doing right now. What do I mean by that? At the moment, I try to just come to the point, make the most important thing, and the video is done. That's why a lot of those videos are 1 minute. And then from time to time, like my Q&A Friday, where I talk a little bit more, if something happens and I share that, right? Or like last time, 190 videos, right? And I explain you something, the thought process. So what's the next step? Trying to figure that out. Like, okay, I have to tell you one more important thing. Even if Russell Brunson in his book Expert Secrets talks about the value ladder, he then even says, he doesn't say that the people have to have the value ladder in place completely, and you don't have to work on all steps at the same time. You just think about it, what could be your value ladder, and then you focus on one thing. And he has even this sentence, and I'm not sure if I should do that or not, but I just tell you what he writes in the book. Pick then one step of the value ladder, so that in my case it would be the DaVinci Resolve iPad course, and then try to bring it to 1 million. 1 million with the funnels and everything, so that you have 1 million in gross revenue. And I'm honest, now this is maybe my fear and my mindset and everything from the past. I'm like, I'm not even sure if that is possible. Maybe it is possible, and I haven't done the steps to do that, right? Because I'm still afraid about Facebook ads, doing Facebook ads, because I don't really know what is the next step, right? So I'm holding back, I'm procrastinating. I don't really know if that product itself is it possible to reach 1 million? So without even doing it, I'm already getting afraid. And this is also what I want to share you today, because when you only post the good things and the things that work, and you share the success, like with the 190 days, I think you're also missing the point of sharing that you struggle. And I struggle a lot. Like, I don't want to now go in too deep into that, but I know, for example, the reason why I started learning about NLP, last year I did the practitioner and the master of NLP, is not because I wanted to use it, become a coach, which definitely helps. So for example, for the coaching business, if I understand better how NLP works, I can use this even with clients. But the main purpose is why I did this is because for my, like here, I have so many struggles still, and so many belief systems, and also traveling sounds amazing on that side, right? Many companies, many brands use that travel thing because that's the dream of many people. Like, hey, you want to live that lifestyle? Come with me to Dubai, blah, blah, blah. You have seen that all the time, right? I could do that, like, because I traveled all the time. But it's not the completely true side. Everything that you earn also has a different side. I don't want to focus on the negative, but the negative can also be challenging. I think you understand what I'm talking about. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I guess I know what I'm talking about. I hope this is funny. I think I should stop this video now. That's the current point. So I think this is just a video to showcase, to show my journey, and that it's not easy, and maybe it will take me another 2 months to figure this out. Am I stopping my daily videos right now? No, not as long as I figured out a different path, a different plan. And I still have this goal for just being daily for 365 days. And now I'm already into 195. Come on, I'm not stopping. But the point is also now I see that my strategy is not as, like, and this is maybe the problem. Maybe I have to just reframe my goals. Like, DaVinci is selling, it makes money, right? So that's amazing, right? And I have a community here with people who come back. And also, maybe let's share that too. Like, I have a couple of core people like Chris and Carlos and Luis and Sean, people who come here back almost daily. And you guys become my friends even without knowing you. I guess you know more about me because you see how I talk, what I talk about. We share the same interest with DaVinci Resolve, right? But it's kind of funny that I have this core audience that comes back, and you guys helped me a lot to push through those challenges of creating daily videos, right? But then at the same time, I think like when new people discover me, and that I could be off with that, but because I see now how slowly, month by month, the videos get less views. It could be because my videos are now more worse. But I guess if you look at the target audience, what my target audience right now is about DaVinci Resolve beginners, right? You learn a certain amount of videos. Like if you have, let's say, I don't know, let's say in the masterclass, 100% represents all the knowledge that we have in the masterclass right now. And most of the beginners, and I see that in the data as well, right? And I look at the analytics, most of the people, they learn like 30 to 40%, and then they're done because they learned the most of the stuff that they needed. So the journey that I have on my channel right now could represent that. What do I mean by this? I make almost daily tip videos and quick tip videos about DaVinci Resolve. And so some of you who are at the beginning there, and that's the interesting thing that I observe, some of you from the beginning still stick. So you incorporated that, you made it a habit to watch my stuff almost daily, right? So, and then when something new comes out, you know, okay, I will learn something, it's just a minute or so, and that's cool. And I guess new people, when they discover the channel, they didn't have the same experience because they didn't have this feeling of unity and community yet, because they started later, right? So they just get the stuff that they want, and then they are not interested anymore in, why should they be interested in me? Because I'm not really sharing any stories. So that's my observation right now, that the one reason why it's slowly dropping down with views and stuff, even if I'm creating every day, is I guess because when now people discover this stuff, they just want to learn about DaVinci. They don't have this feeling of community. I could be wrong, please let me know in the comments. And because of that, they are maybe interested in buying the course or maybe not. So some people never buy, of course. They just watch a couple of videos, they learn the stuff that they needed, and then they're done. They still subscribe, right? It's not that they're not in this hemisphere. They subscribe, they watch a couple of videos, and then they're gone. While other people, and what I observe is those people who are more active on the channel are the people who joined us from the beginning. So I just share that. I have no, like, I can't really tell you. I think the one power is because I was daily. Imagine I would just make a video every week, then of course the video could be better, but that also means that maybe it would fade out. You wouldn't create a habit, right? And I saw that with PewDiePie. PewDiePie, he was the biggest YouTuber for a long time. What he did was being daily for 10 years. And people many times didn't even come for the core of the videos anymore, or if it was gaming or entertainment. It was because they started to know PewDiePie and became a habit to just watch him daily. And I think I did that for almost 2 years as well. So it was fun and seeing him. And I think this is the power of being daily. And that's why I appreciate what I did, like for myself, I appreciate what I did here on the channel because of that. But also as a businessman, I have to observe and change or correct the course. And one way that could be is figuring out my value ladder, where I want to go. I think this is also like, I have to find clarity with myself, and it's not that easy. Like, I'm honest with you, like I have a Canada block where since now over 1.5 years, I haven't really published anything yet. So it's a proven concept where I make passive income. And that's also what we teach in our coaching. That's cool. So it works for that. But still, sometimes it haunted me that, Daniel, you should, if you don't want to let it die, you should do something there. And then I'm like, but I stopped on purpose so I can focus on the new thing. So that's, I think, is my core problem, that I still haven't decided to be completely all in because I haven't really seen the clear path. So, like I said to you before in the video, that I don't really have an answer to that. I just communicate that maybe that's normal. And maybe if you are in the same position, that it's okay, that you also see that some people who are making videos daily and then it feels like they're maybe not in reach because they did something you haven't done yet. Like before, I haven't done those videos, right? We still struggle. And I saw that with YouTubers that I followed until they made a video where it just struck me in the heart. Best example, Peter McKinnon. A couple of years ago, I was in Australia, had a problem there, just a breakup, and I started hating Melbourne, which Melbourne is the most livable city in the world, like 5 times in a row. And I really wanted to just go, but then I realized, like, come on, Daniel, it's not the city, it's your experience that you have right now. Why I'm telling this? Peter McKinnon came out with a video, Do You Even Matter? Where he talked about that when you look at the online stuff and the influencers, when they got so many subscribers and stuff, then we start to compare, which I did at the time, to compare and look at all of the work that we did. And if we don't have the same success, we now feel small. But in this video, he talked about that creation is big, creation in itself. And that was also the point when I discovered, because in this video, he featured a small YouTuber at that time, Cody Warner, which was daily at that time. One inspiration why I'm daily right now. That was 2018. And so why am I saying all of this? I hope this is somehow interesting. I'm saying that because it is okay. We struggle with that, and even big YouTubers, big influencers, big business people struggle with that. And then I think it's how we deal with this. Do I quit now because I struggle? No, of course not. But sometimes it's hard. And I guess that's the core message of that video. Okay, anyway, see you tomorrow. Let me know what you think about this topic. Maybe you have some advice. Maybe you have some stories that you want to share because you are stuck right now, or you went through this phase and you overcome it. I would love to read your stuff. Write me down in the comments. See you in the next video tomorrow. I'm Daniel. Bye.